You can always just paint over it. You're probably like, what the heck does that mean? Okay, hey fam, and welcome to another episode of the Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, I really wanted to create a whole podcast episode about this because I posted about it on my story on Instagram, and it just got a lot of good feedback from other folks. And it was actually my friend Heather Blankenship. She was like, you should make a reel about this. I'm like, you know what? I should make a whole podcast episode about this. So here we are. So if you don't know, I'm actually currently converting my garage into a movie room. And if you want to follow along on this process, make sure to be following me on Instagram because I kind of show more of the behind the scenes of what's happening over there. So don't forget to go and follow me over there. But so whenever this podcast comes out, I would hope that the garage is fully converted by now, which is very exciting. That means we are either already listed or about to list the property. So currently converting the garage into a movie room. And I want it to be dark and moody and just like such a vibe, which, not gonna lie, is a little scary. Like I was picking out different dark green colors. And the funny thing is at Lowe's, like when I was looking at the Sherwin-Williams paints that they have there, they don't have a huge selection of really dark, moody green colors. A lot of the greens were way brighter than I was expecting, which is weird because usually I like bright, but I was really trying to go moody. I'm trying to go moody for this one. And so I found literally one green that I think will work. We're going to try it out, see how it goes, because this dark green color is like a more... Apparently, dark green is just not normal to put in home. So it's kind of like a very specialized color, which makes me even more nervous, right? Because I'm like, am I going too dark? Should I be doing this? I don't know, you know? But so I finally found this one really dark green, like dark green. And I was actually really surprised by how hesitant at first I was to paint it that color. I was like, am I really going to paint it this color? It's so dark. What if it doesn't turn out right? Like my brain kind of started spiraling. Like, what if I hate it? Maybe I shouldn't paint it this green. Maybe I should go a different route. And I realized it just kept me in analysis paralysis pretty much because we get so in our heads and we get so into the what ifs and the maybes but you know, this could happen, spiraling out of control. But y'all, I quickly snapped out of it and I'm very proud of myself for doing so because my friend literally tells me, she goes, I mean, worst case scenario, you just paint over it. And I was like, wait, you're right. Literally, worst case scenario, you just paint over it. And yes, it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt to paint over it, but it's not that bad. And so I instantly felt at ease because she was just so freaking right. Like worst case scenario, I just find a new color, paint over it. It's really not that big of a deal. But think about how many times I could have and would have stopped myself from painting it that color and just kept going around in a spiral all over again. Just because I was so terrified of making a mistake. And what if I was going to change my mind? And this whole sunk cost fallacy, right? That, well, I've already spent all this time painting it one color. Even though I don't like it, I'm just going to keep going with it. But here is the thing, and this is how we turn this into a life lesson. You can always change your mind. You can always just paint over it. So think about this. Where are you doing this in your life right now? Where you're terrified of going bold, taking a chance, taking a small risk for something that could be great, but you are just so scared you're not going to like it, or that you're going to make a mistake, or you're going to want to paint over it. Okay, y'all, do I have something exciting for you? Now, I just came out with a brand new free training on exactly how you can get started investing in real estate within the next 3 months. Because if you're someone who wants more freedom in your life, the ability to travel the world and do the things that you actually want to do in life, you're going to want to listen up. Trust me. Now, this training is freaking awesome. I literally go in and spill the tea on the number one strategy that is working right now, like literally today in today's market. And I go over how to look at deals and make sure that they actually cash flow and how to set your properties up so that you can run them from anywhere in the world. Like I literally have managed my properties from over 6 different time zones. So if you are stuck in analysis paralysis, you don't know where to start when it comes to real estate investing, but you know that it's something that you want to do in the future, this training is going to be for you. So to check it out, click the link in the show notes or DM me the word hack, like HACK on Instagram, and I will send you the link. Now let's dive back into the show. I want you to remember that nothing is permanent. Literally nothing is permanent. If you don't like something, you can always change it. For example, let's say you buy a house. You don't like it. It's not the end of the world. You just sell it, or you rent it out, or you burn it to the ground. Just kidding. Ideally, don't burn it to the ground, but you know what I mean. Like, I remember when I was buying my first duplex, it was in an area of town that I had just never lived in before. I didn't really know of anyone else living there. And I was super nervous. So I was like, oh, but what if I don't like living here? All this stuff. And instead of not taking action because I was scared I wouldn't like living there, I bought the damn house. And I was like, if I don't enjoy living here, I'll just move. I'll rent it out and I'll just move. It's not that big of a deal. Literally nothing in life is permanent, and you have the ability to change everything to be however the F you want it to be. Be it a paint color or your hair color or your job or a house. Okay, I remember when I used to be a chemical engineer, I hated my job so freaking much and was just kind of going through the motions, and it took me what felt like so long to quit my job because I'd already put so much time and energy into becoming an oil and gas engineer, and I'd gone to college and I went to grad school and I did internships and I'd been working for a few years, and it just felt like I was stuck in this job. But then I decided to quit. Like, it literally took a 10-minute conversation with my boss and a quick exit interview, and that was it. I quit. And suddenly my life was different. And I was like, wow, that was quicker and easier than I thought it was going to be. But literally, I changed my whole reality within minutes, essentially. And the whole, few months, or I would even say years before that, I was stuck in paralysis and just so terrified to make the change. And it's like, look at me now, right? Like, I'm living in Denver, which I've been trying to live in and move to for so long. And I'm house hacking, my dream house hack with my dog, living a life where I get to travel whenever I want to. I'm literally heading to London next week and then Argentina for 3 weeks, all because I realized that I can just freaking change my mind. Exactly like I can with the paint color in the garage. It's literally that easy. So stop putting so much pressure on yourself to get it right the first time. If you just make a decision you don't like, you can change it. If I don't like the green, I'm going to paint over it in a different color. If I don't like my house, I'll just move to a different house. If I don't like this chair I bought, I'll return it. If I don't like this career that I'm doing, I'll burn it to the ground and do something else. If you don't like your job, just quit and change it. It really is that easy. Remember that. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, I understand, we have responsibilities. Maybe you've got bills to pay, all of that stuff. So maybe you can't just quit your job tomorrow, but maybe you also could. Or maybe you could put a plan in place where you can within the next few months. Have you thought about that? But just remember, it really is that easy. You can always just paint over it. Now, I hope that helps you just get out of analysis paralysis a little bit. Be bold, take risks, try the things, do the thing, because you can always change it. Nothing is permanent. Everything is transient, and you're allowed to trial and error until you get it right. Okay, that is it for now. I love you. Please make sure to leave a 5-star review if you thought that this was 5 stars and if you like this podcast. And if you do leave a review, I will actually send you a whole free masterclass that is all about travel hacking and using credit card points. So literally, like this one masterclass, you'll probably be able to get a free trip out of it for free. So if you leave a review, I will send you this exclusive masterclass because, guys, I don't know if you understand, but leaving a review means so much to me. It means so much to the podcast. This is how we grow. It's the only way that we grow. Podcasts don't really have like an algorithm like Instagram does. So the only way that it grows is if you keep sharing it with more and more people. Okay, I love you, fam. See you next time. Thank you so much for listening to Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member, or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.